Thank you for this, by the way.
Oh, no problem.
I already offered to Venmo. Don't ask.
No, it's not happening.
I was told that he would.
I only have PayPal.
Nah, I don't give a fuck about your PayPal.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, no, so, like, I got myself something, but, like, when I gave Jordan his coffee, he's like, did you get yourself something? I was like, yes, I got myself a small iced regular, 2 sausage, egg, and cheese croissants, and a snack and bacon, and I smashed that on the 5-minute ride here.
God damn. It's a hungry boy.
I'm a fucking hungry boy. And I'm still hungry.
Well,
this is awful.
I have nothing to offer you.
You're made of protein.
I suppose that could work.
You are the snack and bacon.
You guys are both snacks. You know, honestly, this is gonna be weird, but like we were at work, we were talking about who like a first round draft pick would be in like a zombie apocalypse, and they were saying how like my need for protein consumption would put me toward the bottom of the list, despite what I can offer. As
I could understand where the resource consumption versus the output. It makes sense.
So like, I'd be like a good packing mule, or like
I'd be fucking terrible. I can't run. If I move in certain ways, I'll fall. And you can't even like kill me and eat me because it's too much fat.
I feel like I'm a pretty good balance because I can eat little.
Yeah.
I know how to handle a gun. I can fit in tiny little places.
You're a little guy.
I think I'm the perfect medium here, baby.
You're a greasy little guy.
the perfect meal.
I can just I'll just butter myself up. A zombie goes to grab me, just slurp myself right through.
So
First round draft pick, zombie apocalypse, Jordan.
Got it.
Hello and welcome to the 92nd installment of the Synapse Misfire Podcast. I'm your host, Chris, joined by our co-host, Jordan, and our sometimes co-host, Alex. Alex looks a bit different today. You been hitting the gym?
Yeah, it seems like you've been
a
working
little
out.
bit every other day.
Every other day. You've been on the protein.
Yeah.
And you got taller.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. You also, on record, have been said to flip Chris before, right? Because you're just that strong.
I can neither confirm or deny that statement.
Okay. So, Chris,
Yes.
I think it's safe to assume this isn't the Alex we know.
Yes.
He's also not bald.
That's true.
I'd take my hat off and my hair would look like shit, so...
So,
But it's there.
This is the man, the myth, the legend, Jason.
Yeah.
The one I built the PC for that
The
I
big
just was
man.
informed self-destructed.
Hey, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Everyone's PC is self-destructing, bro. Like this one that we record the podcast on, every time we fucking turn on the TV, it never works. It never outputs.
Nope.
My computer's fine. Alex's computer fucking blew up. His graphics card is like detonated, and then like he unplugged his monitor, and now it works. And then and yours, went thermonuclear. So.
Yeah, like I don't understand.
All right.
So like I literally can do anything else but play a game. Soon as I try to open anything up, it's just like,
That's
oh,
weird.
well, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, that's pretty strange.
Wow.
So
But
I've just been sticking to Elden Ring on my PlayStation. That shit's
PS5 or 4?
4.
Damn.
Damn, brother. So,
Phenomenal.
Platforms, Jordan.
platforms,
Where can you
formalities.
find this show?
Formalities. Okay, so you can find the show on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Breaker, Radio Public, Spotify, and of course Pocket Casts, as well as the RSS feed linked below. As always, contact us. Email synapsemisfire@pm.me. Comments, questions, concerns, and death threats. And YouTube comment section and TikTok and Instagram. We're on both of those. So.
Side note, all death threats go to me, so send them at your own peril.
Yeah, they immediately get forwarded to Jason. So.
I will find you.
And I will kill you.
Fuck is a cat doing?
And I will talk sternly to you.
I will give you a stern talking to. You bust in the door at like midnight. And you're just there, like just in the buff. And they're like, oh fuck, what the hell's going on? You're like,
Covered
please
in
don't do
grease.
that. And walk
Yeah,
away.
covered in grease, completely nude. All I have is like my
Speedo.
aviators and like a hat on.
course.
Like
Well,
no other clothing.
The hat is like surgically attached.
Yeah, basically. I have never seen anywhere without a hat on top of my head.
So I did want to make an announcement to you, Chris.
Oh, okay.
I'm not wearing this jacket for show.
Oh.
I actually have to show you something. It's Scoobis-Doobis part 2,
Oh my
baby.
god.
Scoobis-Doobis is
The-
back.
Dude, this guy's doobist 2 weeks in a row.
Fucking doobing out, man. So, the jacket comes off and the doobining begins.
The tubining?
The
We're
doobining has
We're
commenced.
scoobing and doobing right here.
Scoobis-Doobis
Alright.
part 2. I found another Scooby-Doo shirt.
Well, I I'm wearing something a bit different. I'm wearing a black Carhartt shirt.
Oh, instead of the gray, right?
It's sort of a gray or green Carhartt shirt.
That made sense.
Cat has taken an interest in your jacket, so if it's covered in cat hair, that's why.
I've got an overweight orange cat. I don't understand cat hair.
Maybe he's trying to find where that cat is at.
He's like, yo, this cat smells fat as fuck.
I can smell the grease on this cat from a mile away.
All right. Jordan.
Yeah.
Oscar versus Chunk. Who wins in a fight?
I'd say Oscar. He's got the mass.
He's got a
him.
lot of meat behind him.
He also
Chunk doesn't have a lot going on in his head.
Yeah, Chunk doesn't have a lot going on. Oscar's got like that old cat wisdom because he's elderly. But also, in the few times Chunk has like attacked you lightly, the damage that's done has been like leaps and bounds less than Oscar's just play fight damage. That cat has no limits, dude. He's like, oh, we're playing, I will eviscerate you.
Yeah, one time when we were doing a remote episode, I think one of the snowed in episodes, he latched onto my arm. And I was like doing this with my arm, and he was like latched on. I had scratches up and down my arm, but none of them broke the skin.
Yeah. It's like Oscar's just like, I swat at you, I slice you open. Like, that's just what he does.
Yeah,
so.
he doesn't... He's not as bad as he used to...
Slide that in.
You can close that. He's not as bad as he used to be. He used to scratch me a lot, and then he used to bite a lot, but now he bites sometimes, but it's not that bad. Like, it's not a bite, it's like a... You know, I'm just going to put your hand in my mouth for no reason.
He's going to suck on it like a lollipop.
Yeah, something like that.
But should we maybe ask the guest what he's been up to?
Yeah.
Jason, what have you been up to?
Who are you? What do you do?
What do you do? Why are you even here?
I don't know why I'm here.
Fucking dude just shows up. He just brings us free coffee. Sits on our couch.
What, are you going to kick me out or something?
I'm thinking about it.
Go for it.
I'd like to see this.
That's it, big boy. I just grab my arm, disintegrates. I'm like, oh fuck.
Yeah, no, I don't do much. I pick things up, I put them down.
That's fair.
I pick things up, I throw them.
What's the heaviest thing you've picked up?
I have a 600-pound deadlift.
God, my
numbers were way off.
Holy shit.
What about your bench? What was your bench again?
My bench PR right now is 365. My bench isn't that good. I have a 500-pound squat as well.
That's fucking crazy.
Jason, I'm going to be honest with you. I kinked my neck sleeping last night. I'll be honest with you.
We did a little bit of work in that studio room back there, which involved, like, we're on our hands and knees a bit, cutting things. My knees hurt for like a week.
Don't be fooled. While I do pick up heavy shit, I am in a constant state of physical pain.
Oh, I see.
Well, understandably so. That's one of the things you don't understand about like people who work out. Like some of my coworkers work out, and you don't realize like
they're always in pain.
They'll turn, and I'll just see like our boss just be like, "Oh," and I'm like, "What happened?" He's like, "Well, I did some workouts." I was like, "Oh, you fucking shattered your vertebrae." That makes sense.
Yeah,
it's just what happens.
So like, I'm not like decrepit. I don't feel like I'm 70 when I'm 21, but like sometimes like my knees will bother me, and I'm just like, wow, I feel old, but like I'm still mobile. Like I'm not just like the hunchback of Notre Dame. I'm just like,
yeah.
I deadlift.
This is another real story. I drove my dad's truck for the first time in a while, like 2 weeks ago, and he would complain. He said something about how like his knees were getting fucked up from using the clutch, and I was like, well, I drove that truck for a significant amount of time and nothing happened to me. And I drove it again after not driving it for a while, and my knee hurt the day after.
Oh shit.
Which is weird because, you know, I got this motion down with the Fiesta.
Yeah.
You know, but it's a much lighter experience. It's like you say, and that's the clutch. That truck is like.
You have to put like a bar to push it in. You're like, get into fucking place.
The force of 1,000 apes.
There you go.
You gotta really put the boot down.
Give it the old kickaroo. But so beyond just picking things up and putting them down violently, what else you do? What makes Jason?
You know, I'm kind of a nerd. You know.
Yeah, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Big on anime, big on gaming.
Yeah.
I cook.
Damn. Dude,
what have you cooked recently?
And don't say pizza rolls. Not a valid answer.
I cooked steak recently.
Nice. Steak is like one of the only things I think I've perfected for me, at least.
For your preference, yeah.
Yeah,
I
like
gotcha.
I make steak a lot. It's less now because the price of everything is going up.
Yeah.
So like, before I could get like, you know, a bunch of steaks and then have, you know, maybe a steak, maybe 2 a week for like, you know, a few weeks, and then go shopping again, right? But now, it's like one steak is like fucking $14.
It's stupid.
Yeah.
It's like $14. Ground beef is like $5 a pound.
I know, dude. Like, you're not even paying like $14 for a good steak. You're paying for like one of those.
Yeah. It's the vacuum wrapped
fucking skirt steaks and
yeah.
shit. You gotta like literally take out a kidney for a ribeye. Like, it's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, I remember I went to this is pre-pandemic. I went to a shop, a local place that has a butcher shop, and I bought steak there, and I bought like 4 steaks, and it was like $60 for. I don't know, it might have been like 3. It was like $60 for all of them. Like, god damn, I love meat, but I cannot afford meat. I think I'm just gonna buy a cow. At this
Honestly,
point.
like, dude. So I like to smoke over the summer, as in like smoking meats.
Oh, there you go.
Thought he meant crack.
Gain's gotta come from somewhere. But
It all comes from crack.
You're lifting the couch like, ooh.
But yeah, so like I'll usually like buy a brisket, fuck around, have a little barbecue.
Yeah, I'm planning on getting because my grill area, where my dad said he wants to redo it this summer, so I'm thinking about getting a smoker and then smoking some meats. So maybe we could have some brisket, some ribs, or
Sounds fucking
some sort
phenomenal.
of. Can you yell at him if he's chewing on something?
Yeah, he's not chewing it right now.
All right.
He's sniff.
Take off your shoe and throw it at him or something.
Hey,
It's the
Yeah.
best barbecue I've ever had was rather recently when I went down to North Carolina for Division III Nationals, and it was fucking fantastic.
Oh well, it's North Carolina. They know how to do it though.
Yeah, they know what they're doing. Like I got like this huge brisket sandwich with fucking cornbread, hush puppies, grits, collard greens, $10.
how was?
And you know there was like a fucking 400-pound dude with no teeth in the kitchen just making it insane.
And you know his nickname was Smokey. They called him Smokey back in the day. That's
He's like, you ask him a question, he barely speaks English. He's like,
you dare talk Smokey?
he goes, hey, I'm down there, Smokey. You put the barbecue sauce on. I made it this morning. Oh,
Get her done.
right, okay.
The only thing he can say clearly is "get her done." Never smoked barbecue sauce. Get her done. Get her done.
Where you from, boy? Oh, I'm from up north. He stops talking to you after that.
And he just starts licking his one tooth and loading his fucking shotgun.
If you're not from one of the former slave states, he doesn't like you.
So
What side of the Mason-Dixon line you from?
Where would have you stood in 1863?
that's the only other thing he says clear. So what were the views like, by the way? Because I've always wanted to go to North Carolina. It's been like a dream state of mine. What
Really?
were the views like? It's just something about that ambiance. It's just like, I feel like it's fucking beautiful.
It is. So we didn't go to like a huge part of North Carolina. We were in Winston-Salem. So I mean, just it was pretty. Like, it was nice, calming, and like.
Is it like mountainous almost?
No, more trees, honestly.
More trees.
So the room I was staying in, I had like a little view of just like woods, and it was pretty. Yeah, no, the best thing about it is just like the atmosphere. Like, everybody's so fucking nice down there that it's appalling.
Yeah.
Well, being from
New England.
New England, I've lived here literally my entire life.
Same.
I get put off when people are nice in public.
Yes.
Like, and you can tell other
You get
people.
suspicious.
You can tell other people do too. I held the door for someone the other day, and they looked at me like I was gonna stab them.
They're like, what's going on, man?
I was like, I'm just trying to hold the door. And that's why, like, when someone does that to me, I'm the same way. I'm like, what the fuck you want from me? You want my blood? What is it you want?
On my ass?
I don't have any cash on me, so.
Yeah.
I cross paths with somebody at a gas station, and I'm already like full defense mode. Activate the fucking Gundam. I'm ready to go. Like, it's
You're
so
like, Power
bad.
Rangers, go! You fucking start beating the shit out of like.
Gorilla Zord! Like, I'm ready to go, dude.
Like I'm whooping some dude's ass in a gas station parking lot.
Oh, that's happened before. That's happened before.
Nice.
Oh, it's great. But
Can I tell a story on here?
I wouldn't.
No?
If it implicates you, I wouldn't.
it's up to you. I don't know.
So I didn't really strike him. He was yelling obscenities at me from his car window.
That seems like a mistake to say to someone of your stature.
Yeah. Probably. Like, I'm a decent dude, so like, it didn't bother me until he started throwing shit at me.
Oh, all right. Well, that's justification.
Yeah. So he didn't have his seatbelt on, so like I kind of like grabbed him by like the trap collarbone area and pulled him out of his front seat, like through the car, like through the window.
You pull him out. You're like he looks like a normal sized guy. You pull him out, and he actually has legs about this long. He's on stilts. He's like, stop it!
You
Stop
take him
it!
out, and he's like, his legs are absurdly long. They're like 15 feet long.
You're like,
he gets up and he looks like Gru. Like he has super long legs and this little body. His little like really wide body, and he looks down
really
at you.
Pointy nose.
But then he's got those little spindly legs. So you just hit him in the knee and he's done.
He just buckles like a fucking. He's like a kangaroo, dude. Just bounces.
Dude, like that would be Gru's weak point, but like he could dodge heat-seeking missiles, and he hit a shark so hard that he paralyzed it.
That's impressive. So I mean, I wouldn't
be
mess
honest,
with
Jason.
Gru,
I don't
to be
think that's
honest.
something even you could do. I think Gru got you on that one.
We're gonna have to try that. We're gonna have to put me against a shark.
Yeah, let's put you in the ring with a dangerous animal.
Yes.
On its territory.
Give it the home field advantage because it's gonna need it.
That's the thing. Like if sharks, right? If we just stay out of the water, right? That's not our home territory.
It's theirs.
Right?
What the fuck's a shark gonna do?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm on sand.
I'd like to see this shark come up onto my turf and then try to act. Got to keep that same energy. I'd beat the fuck out of a shark on land.
Say it with your gills.
Exactly.
Say it with your gills, Playboy.
Let's go.
Oh, what? You can't breathe? Start kicking it.
It's like that episode.
Oh, what's up? You got a little ass, little bronchi? Just start booting it.
It's like that episode of SpongeBob with fucking Sandy and the sea creatures. Like, all right, let's go up on land. They're getting their ass kicked by seagulls. It's like the same fucking thing. Jason just pile drives a shark on the sand. Man,
all right.
This is too good. But Chris.
Yes.
The fuck have you been up to?
Man, you know what's fucking great? My life's been great in these last couple of weeks.
I'm glad, because that means you're going to be heading for a downward turn. Can't wait to see it.
Well, that's going to come around the end of August. Downward turn. So, last week.
2 weeks ago.
The week after we recorded the last 2 episodes.
To make it more confusing, 3 weeks as to when this goes live.
Yeah, so, that was my last week of class for this summer. I still have the one more year, but
for summer.
and maybe an extra semester depending on how things work out. But,
right, with scheduling.
You know.
As well. I just finished up as well.
So, I finished up, and I was like, I didn't really have much class for that week, so I was like, oh, okay, cool. I was able to get in my full 40 hours, which was nice. I had to go to class one day, and so it wasn't that bad.
It means I had to see Chris for 40 hours, which was not very nice.
And, I mean, you're going to have to see me for 40 hours for the next 4 months, so.
No, I quit. I'm done.
Oh, all right, well,
Quitting.
see ya. Anyway, not yesterday, Friday, but the Friday before that.
So 1 week from yesterday, which to make it more confusing was 5 days ago for you minus a week. So a week and 5 days ago.
12 days ago for you guys. It was Friday night, and I was like, man, I still got like a couple things I got to take care of.
Like that.
I don't know what this cat's problem is.
He is not podcast friendly.
Does he want to go one-on-one with the goon right now?
So it was Friday night, and I was like, man, I got a couple things I got to do before like Sunday, and I got a couple things I got to do before Tuesday. Fuck it. I'm just going to do it now. So I spent 3 hours, 4 hours just doing all my work, finishing it up, turning it all in. And then I had one other thing that I was just waiting on some group members to finish up so we could all turn it in. And then I was done. And I entered this phase over the last week, right? Because I started, last Monday. I was like, oh my God, I don't have any homework I have to do.
No more night terrors or anything.
right? So I just entered this, like, point from last Saturday, moving forward. I entered this point of, like, I'm just fucking lost. I don't know what to do with myself. I'm looking for a purpose now. It's like, an NPC in a game who just has one quest for you. And it's not a good quest. You always walk past him, and he always delivers that same line of dialogue. Like, come back. And then you finally do the quest, and the NPC just never says anything to you again. It's kind of like that. I was like,
just resorts to like generic NPC dialogue.
Yeah, it's like
I've
lost my entire purpose.
Damn.
So I've been working on finding that. So I got that going for me, and I started writing some stuff. So I have so many fucking videos I have to record.
Mm-hmm.
I have
your purpose, baby.
A shitload of them that are like half finished.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have one that's I wanted to do as my first one back, but it's turning into a much larger project than I thought.
Yeah.
Because it's just something that I've been digging into, and I thought it was going to be like a simple thing. Look at some stuff.
Get some facts straight.
Write a little overview, and it would be a quick thing. But the more I dig, the more interesting shit there is. So
you just keep getting deeper and deeper in the lore.
Ends up being a much bigger rabbit hole than I want. So I have that. I have a million other things, and I have something else I'm working on as well. Which is like a much more serious sort of thing. And then I have another thing that I want to work on that I'm not sure what I want to do with it yet. Because I've just been, if you go on like TikTok, okay, and I would see like a picture or like a video of like an old guy, he's like, my dad just took up cheese making for some reason. And then you see in the comments just like, bros just doing side quests. And this concept is like just kind of taking over my brain of like, that makes sense. Side quests. Because I do that shit. I'll just, like, get really interested in something and then, like, completely drop it.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, I made the channel already. It's going to be called Chris Does Side Quests. It's going to be unscripted stuff where I just go and I do one thing, essentially.
And that's it.
And then I just kind of move on. Or, I just make a couple videos on it and then I move on or whatever. Yeah. But I'm not sure what I want to do with it just yet.
Yeah,
so.
That's pretty cool. I remember you had pitched that to me as like something you were interested in. So it's a pretty unique idea. It's pretty cool. It's taking something like you said from like TikTok and kind of expanding on it and making it like almost a genre.
And I was just thinking like, I can involve some of the boys in that. And it's not just me shouting at a camera,
right?
For a while, and it lets me get out more,
right?
Because I've been trying to do that a lot.
Right.
Because being inside all the time really sucks.
It is draining.
Well, it doesn't help that in New England you kind of have to be inside for a lot of the year. Well, so when it's nice, you're like, let's go, and then you just get depressed as soon as it goes back to being shit.
Yeah.
I get mean winter depressions, especially now with my job where I get out at 5.
Oh, and you get out and it's dark.
I go in and it's fairly dark, and I get out and it's pitch black, and I'm like, I'm just depresso, dude.
It's like, man, I just want to die. And then you get back, and it's especially bad for me because I get back, and then I sit in the basement where there's no windows. So,
you can't even like open the window and get some air. You're just
I almost
trapped.
might think this is not the time to look into it now, but next winter, once the days start getting shorter again, maybe like a daylight lamp might be something to look into.
It can certainly help.
Because, you're not getting a whole lot of daylight.
Yeah. Especially.
I mean, I'm just depressed year round. That shit don't
well, I mean, yeah, but the winter don't make it much better.
The winter definitely, makes it worse, to say the least.
Oh, absolutely.
At least for me.
Oh, you know what I did Sunday? I detailed my car.
How'd that go?
It was okay. I mean, like, I got it done and it's clean, but then the part where I messed up, I think, is I put this ceramic coating on it that I bought. It was like a, just some thing in a bottle. And it's like, you put it on the little applicator pad, and you put it onto the panels.
Wax off.
And it's not like wax. It doesn't, like, harden, and then you buff it off. it'll cure for a second, and then you're supposed to like wash it again, and then the excess will fall off. But like that didn't really happen. So it's like just kind of streaks and like excess coating on my car, and it doesn't look very good. But there's a lot of salt and stuff that has gotten off the car, so I'm happy about that.
Right, that's good for sure. How do you get that shit off though? So if there's streaks there, what do you use to take that off now? Do you just have to soap the shit out of it?
So with that, car soap isn't gonna work because most car soaps don't strip wax or any coatings or anything.
Yeah.
You can use dish soap to get it off. Strip it. And it'll strip any like grease or wax or anything.
Makes sense. You need a degreaser pretty much for it.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Hydrochloric acid.
That might damage the paint a little bit.
Lithium. All over.
Just a big chunk of lithium.
Yeah, just slam it into the side.
Take
a lithium battery and just stab it on top of the car. I guarantee it takes it off.
Just
yeah.
Not even. Just take a Tesla battery.
But
or just blow the car up.
What about you, Jordan?
So, Chris, I actually started something. First of all, shout out to my coworker who gave me a free PS3 because this man has revolutionized my fucking life.
Shout out. Does it You said yesterday it makes up for the fact of for the absolute shit picture of you.
So I gotta tell that story a little bit. So we have a website dedicated to our team because, like I said before, me and Chris are kind of in a overarching department, and there's a department team, and we all have photos. And my photo was this absolute chicanery. Just
it looks fucking terrible.
It was just a photo taken in my apartment that I threw when I first got hired, and then we finally got some professional photos taken by our employer, and I was like, let's go. We updated everything. And then I was talking with Chris and Alex at work, and we happened to notice the photo was the same.
It hadn't been updated to the professional
The person
one.
who runs this site that has these photos is the one who gave me the PS3. So I sent him a message. We had about a 10-sentence correspondence that basically started as me saying, I am incredibly disappointed in you. I would be much angrier had you not given me a free PS3. And his response was just, what? And I was like, my photo. It is putrid, stank, disgusting, vile. Needless to say, he fixed it. So.
I would say throw the picture on screen, but then you could just reverse image search it and find the fucking website, presumably. So
maybe, so it's not worth it. But yeah. I could also fuck with it a little. We'll see. But yes, the photo's bad.
I wouldn't do it if I were you.
The photo is very bad.
And in fact, I'm barring you from doing this.
It's gross. Well, I'll test it if you can reverse it. You shouldn't be able to. Man, it's a password-protected site.
Yeah, but regardless.
But the image was shit. So anyway, he gave me the free PS3, so I forgave him for the image. You know, he gets a pass. He has one strike, but you know what? I avoided the strike, so he's back to, he has 3 opportunities to fail.
Okay.
Before something real bad happens. Before I, try to fight him, and he's, 4 times my size, and he kills me.
Oh, yeah, he'll kick the shit out of you.
And he's ex-military. He will kill me.
Any day of the week.
Yeah. I can try, though. I can certainly try, right? I can, it'd be like a David versus Goliath thing, but instead of it turning, the way it's supposed to, I just get stomped into the pavement. You just come over to my department, and I'm just a bloody mess outside his office.
Just a fucking stain.
There's just a fucking one of those body outlines from, a fucking crime scene.
There's just
folded up there like a fucking Family Guy character.
There's a Roomba going, and it just hits you, and just goes back and hits you again.
But back to the topic at hand. So he gave me a free PS3,
Epic.
and I've started playing Red Dead Redemption again.
Ooh.
Now, Chris.
Yes.
I have to say, the experience was exactly as I thought. I was like, okay, this definitely is aged. It's got 24 frames per second.
Oh yeah.
It's aged, but I found something revolutionary. Thanks to the gods at TikTok, I am currently playing Red Dead Redemption on the PS3 with a PlayStation 5 controller.
Wow.
That has improved the experience tenfold. So I have that shit set up in the bedroom. God damn, is that game so good. But also it makes me realize everything that's way better about Red Dead Redemption 2.
Oh, absolutely. The thing with Red Dead 1 is it is a fantastic game. It's just, again, it has aged. And it shows its age. Because I remember it looking and running a lot better.
Yes. I don't remember it being nearly what it is.
Yeah. But
I was also 11.
And it's also a lot shorter than I remember it.
Yeah, it is fairly short too.
Yeah, like you can finish through the game in like 18 hours.
Yeah, I'm taking my sweet ass time, dude. I'm
very short game.
fucking loving it.
I didn't do a ton of the side stuff just because I was like, well, I'm more here for the story more than anything. I did a couple side missions, but I didn't do a whole lot. It's not like Red Dead 2 where it's like, if you're not doing the side stuff, you're missing out on like a majority of the content of the game.
Yeah.
It's like that one side quest where you could potentially get Arthur Morgan buttfuck.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I did that one, and then I went back to the guy's house and I blew him up.
Yeah.
He tried to get back into his house. He's like, it's you again. And then I like banked the dynamite off his door and it slipped into his house. And I just saw an explosion. The door blew open.
Have you actually seen the secret dialogue for that mission? With the girl? Is it his sister, right? It's his sister.
I don't know.
So it's the girl and the guy, and as Jason said, the guy can butt fuck you.
Different. That's a different one.
Oh, it's not the Aberdeen Pig Farm one?
No, there's the guy in the swamp, and he offers you
soup.
He offers you soup or something.
I was thinking of the pig farm.
The pig farm is different. Those guys, I mean, yeah, they rob you too, though.
Yeah, but there's secret dialogue with them where if you actually, you know how you wake up in like the body pit? If you go back and you kill him and you hog tie her and bring her to the body pit, there's dialogue where she begs her mom for forgiveness because that's where they buried her.
Oh, see, here's
crazy.
the thing with that. I was like, I understand where this is going, and I was like, I denied like the second or third drink or whatever that they give you.
Yeah.
So I was like, nah, I'm gonna get going, and then I got into, no joke, like a 5 or 10 minute knife fight with both of them, because what happened was I tried to shoot them, and I think I shot the sister, and she died, and then fucking big boy ran over and he smacked the gun out of my hand. I drew another gun, he smacked that gun out of my hand. So all I had was my knife, and I was swinging my knife at him. And I kept trying to like hog tie him, and then but he's too big. He can't. He'll break the hog tie every time, and you can't grapple him either because he's too big.
He's way bigger.
So I just start swinging my knife at him. He almost killed me.
God damn.
He almost killed me, but I did get him. So
yeah. I do miss one thing. Go ahead, Jason. You were trying to say something. I cut you off.
Yeah, no, I just started thinking of, like, a meme I saw on TikTok where it was just dudes playing as John Marston in Red Dead 2, wailing on a cow at, like, light speed with, like, the Metal Gear Rising Revengeance music in the background.
That was it was like a Bible thing, too. It was like Moses coming down and seeing everyone worshipping a golden cow, and he's punching the fuck out of this cow.
Beating the shit out of the cow with fucking the Senator Armstrong theme song in the back. Have you guys played Metal Gear Rising?
I have not. I've seen like some of the memes from it, though.
Okay,
yeah.
No, that game's... the boss fights are phenomenal. The rest of the game's kind of clunky, but, like, the boss fights are so good that you forget about how...
I just know it from fucking... That's a nice claim, Senator. How about you give a source on that? My source is that I made it the fuck up.
Yeah. Oh my god. Senator Armstrong has got to be, like, one of the most iconic fucking bosses of all time. Because, like, that game came out, like, 10 years ago. And I still just see memes from Senator Armstrong. Like,
is he the big fucking dude?
Yeah, the big fuck.
Yeah.
Played college ball, you know. Could have gone pro if I hadn't joined the Navy. I could quote that man all day.
Oh, that's fucking
amazing.
Great. That's fucking great,
so,
dude.
Oh yeah, Red Dead 1. That's what you're supposed to do.
The gun, like the actual gunplay in that game, ages pretty well. It's pretty much the same as Red Dead 2. Fine. It's not as, chunky. You know what? I'm noticing all these little things, though, that have blown me away. Like, this is probably something so niche and so random, but obviously the horse controls we know are night and day different, but the horse sound effects have made a huge difference. So in Red Dead 1, you can hear certain sound effects like running on wood versus running on dirt versus running on like stone and black water, right? But in Red Dead 2, they're much more dynamic.
Yeah.
And I didn't notice it until I was like running in a posse in Red Dead 1, and I was like, it's the same step with every horse. They all sound the same. You just hear like and just over and over.
Well, and the thing with the Red Dead 2 horses is it's like there's a lot more Foley to it. So it's like they walk and then you hear like the bridle and like the saddle moving and then the foliage crunching under their feet and
like
stuff
Arthur
like that.
will shift himself and you hear the saddle like creaking and it's just like so dynamic that I'm just like it makes me honestly appreciate Red Dead 2 even more.
There is such a crazy level of effort
Yeah, I see
in that
horse
game.
balls in Red Dead too.
That too.
That's definitely a big downside of Red Dead 1. I wanted to see some horse nuts, dude.
Yeah.
I wanted to see big old nuts.
Big old fucking.
I just think
tanks.
I think it's strange that Rockstar must have a guy dedicated to the nuts, because in GTA 5, all the animals visible nuts.
Yeah.
In
They have a guy.
Red Dead 2, you know.
Do they just have like a department called the Nut Designer or something?
They just have one guy, his name's like Gary, and he's in a closet with a computer.
He's very, very aware of nuts.
He's in a closet with a computer, and like the devs walk in. It's like, hey Gary, and he like covers up his screen. He's like, what? What do you want? You should knock before you come in here.
Yeah, Gary, we added like a horse to the game. So,
oh, I got it. And he moves his hand, and it's a very hyper-realistic scan of horse testicles.
Yeah, then he pulls out the 3D printer, and he said, so these are what the nuts will look like. And they're
like real.
There's skin on
He's
them.
just actually got a fucking horse scrotum that he keeps on his dick. He's just sitting there fucking dangling that shit around like a Newton's cradle.
You got, you even have the fucking naked camp in GTA 5.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, yeah, that guy's nuts. He just pulls out a human nutsack. Like, what the fuck?
I got this one, too.
Oh,
He's just got a bag of nutsacks. Hello.
Do you have nuts?
No,
No.
he doesn't. I removed them. Or I had the vet remove them. I didn't do it.
I was gonna say.
Chris,
He came with them. Like, when I got him, he had them.
Oh, they were stock.
Yeah, they were stock. I did a nut
cut the
delete on
muffler
them.
out.
Yeah.
Shit. That's funny. But, yeah, Red Dead 1, though, I do have to say, such a good game. I can't wait to play Undead Nightmare. I'm honestly more excited for Undead Nightmare than
I
the
have
main
to still
game.
go back and play Undead Nightmare.
But, it's weird. My eyes do this adjustment thing. Like, genuinely, this is such a mental thing where, like Chris said, when I was younger, and, like, when he was younger, Red Dead 1 ran beautifully, perfectly, flawlessly, when it really didn't. I just didn't know any better.
Yeah.
But then I'll be playing Judgment, or Lost Judgment, rather, on the PS5, and I'm like, this is running smooth, looks good. I'll go to play the PS3, and it's literally like my eyes have to slow down the refresh rate of my brain to match the game. And I also noticed this other weird thing. I don't know if the 360 version did this, or if it's just like a weird PS3 thing. But it's almost like a car, where it warms up, and it starts performing better. The game will first boot up, and it's running, I swear to God, at like probably 13 to 14 frames per second. And then after a few seconds, it gets to like 25, and it stays
Like
there.
It's like an old Buick. You just gotta let it warm up.
I was gonna say it's like a old diesel on a cold morning.
It's
So you gotta let it idle for like 30 minutes at least.
it's so weird, but man, I fucking love the game. I really hope they remaster it. Could you imagine playing that shit on Steam Deck, dude?
I don't remember that being the case with Red Dead 1, but I do remember that kind of being the case with Skyrim on the Xbox 360.
Well, you had to let it idle.
That game, the turbo had to spool. It was a whole thing.
It probably has to do with load time, if I had to
Because
guess.
what would happen is I would have that game in, like the disc in, and like it would hit a loading screen, and it sounded like the fucking thing was gonna take off because
Yeah.
the disc was going crazy.
Yeah.
It was going like I don't think any other game disc I had spun as fast as Skyrim.
Yeah.
Like Skyrim was aggressive.
Yep.
I don't know if maybe my disc was messed up and it was like the counterbalance was off or something
It was
because it
so
made
fucking
so
crazy.
much noise.
Yeah, I think it honestly has to do with load time, if I had to guess, because you're loading off old ass hard drives and off a disc. So it probably
Yeah.
has to do where you spawn in and all the assets are popping in, and it's like and then all of a sudden it's back to
That's
normal.
like anytime I try to load a game on my 4 terabyte drive that I still haven't replaced.
the one that's dying.
Yeah, that drive. Sometimes I'll go to save something, and I'll accidentally click on that drive, and my fucking file explorer crashes
Oh, that's too good.
because it just that drive it does not want to exist anymore. But
Yeah.
it still works. I can
Still
still
works.
put stuff on it and read data from it.
It just doesn't want to. It's
It just
unhappy
really
about it.
doesn't want to.
It's unhappy about it.
Anytime I look at that drive, I'll launch a game that's on that drive, or I'll like open up that drive. I can just hear it. I just hear it kind of like awaken. I just hear it goes.
It's like, Jesus. Okay, there's the data. Okay, you're good.
So
Where? There. Okay.
oh my god! Oh right, I think we got it.
Boys, we got him. But, Jason, when's the last time you played Red Dead?
I haven't played in a while. Like the original?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been years for me, since like 2013 probably.
I want to say I did a playthrough of it a few years back.
It's so good, man.
Yeah, it's...
They need to remake it.
They do.
Like, re-release that instead of GTA 5, please.
Yeah, like,
I agree.
The 18th re-release of GTA 5 fucking Electric Boogaloo. Like, get that shit out of my face. But, anywho... I think an interesting thing for me was, like, the Dutch Vanderlyn boss fight in Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah.
Like, after, like, playing Red Dead 2, and John Marston's like, you always had a plan, Dutch. And Dutch is just sitting there, like, smiling. And then it just gave me a call back to Red Dead 2, and it was like,
yeah.
I had a goddamn plan!
He had a plan.
Yeah, it amazes me, honestly, the continuity that they managed to maintain going back in time. Like, I just did the first Stranger mission with the guy who's, like, the mystery man.
Oh, yeah, the hat man.
Yeah, and he talks, like, he's like, how do you know me? And he's like, oh, I remember faces, blah, blah, blah. And, he's like, do you remember, like, Carolyn something? And John's like, no, who the hell's that?
And that's the girl
he's like, yeah, that's the girl that Dutch Vanderlyn shot in the face while her eye was just hanging off a piece of tendon from her skull. And I was like, and then he mentions that it happened on the ferry. And it just brought me back. I'm like, man, we really need a DLC or something to show that ferry fucking job. Because it just keeps coming up in both games, and I need to know what happened.
I need to know.
I need it.
Yeah, I need to know what the plan was, god damn it.
Come on, Dutch. Arthur. I got a plan, Arthur. Tahiti and mangoes.
Here's my relation. Okay, speaking of prequels. Okay, prequels in general. Better Call Saul. Prequel to Breaking Bad. Season 6 started, like a month back. And it's fucking fantastic. However, the Better Call Saul Twitter account keeps fucking tweeting out spoilers.
I had a feeling you were going to say that. I thought I heard about that. Why?
So, before the season even started, they put a picture... They tweeted out a picture of Walt and Jesse and said they're coming back before it started. And then number 2, season 6, episode 3 of season 6, there was like a major plot point that's wrapped up essentially. I don't want to like be specific about what exactly happens, but essentially what they did is they tweeted out exactly what happened like a day after the episode aired. Like, it aired on a Monday. They tweeted this out on, like, a Tuesday or a Wednesday.
Yeah. Who the fuck has time to just be like, oh, the show came out, let's go. Like some people did wait till the weekend.
That's the thing. Like, I keep up with it, sure.
But a lot of people don't.
But no, not everyone. I was actually planning on waiting for this whole season to ride out, and then I was going to watch it all. But then I was like, you know what, whatever. I'll watch it week by week. And I'm glad I did, because I would have seen all these spoilers
you
otherwise.
You would have seen every major plot point.
Yeah. I'm surprised they haven't tweeted anything out about this week's episode. Like, Jesus Christ.
Dude, they don't even, like, mark it as, like, potential spoilers or anything? Like,
no, they just put it out there.
They just fucking dick slap you with spoilers, like, 24 hours later.
And...
that's annoying.
You can't blame, the team behind the show for, like, any of the shitty decisions that were made in the production of that show or the production of any show. It's all AMC. Yeah. AMC is just a dog shit company.
Yeah.
And that being said, they just announced another spin-off show called Slippin' Jimmy, an animated show that takes place in the 70s.
That's kind of cool. Animated show.
Following, Jimmy McGill pre-Saul Goodman, when he was a kid, and his buddies.
Let's keep going farther back, huh?
And that's cool. It's such an obvious cash grab from AMC, and I know it's going to be terrible because none of the original team is involved. Like, Vince Gilligan is involved. He doesn't write or create it. It's created by some other person.
That's ridiculous.
That AMC just assigned to this project.
That's such shit. And
you could tell it's going to be bad because it has that shit, that shitty Netflix animation style.
Oh, like what we talked about, Big Mouth or whatever.
Every Netflix animated show has this dog shit style, and anytime I see that style, I get put off because I know that's the harbinger of terrible shows.
Yeah, that sucks. That definitely sucks. Did you actually see? Speaking of AMC, made me think about this. You know the There's the Walking Dead spin-off show. Is it Fear the Walking Dead? I thought there was another
There's
one.
like 5.
There's something Survivors. It's like a spin-off Walking Dead show. Did you see their Red Dead 2 reference?
No.
They made? So there's a episode where I guess they're in a museum. I don't watch the show. I just saw it on Reddit, whatever. I thought it was funny. Where they're in a museum and there's like boots, and it's like a Western themed museum, and there's boots that say, "These were the boots worn by something O'Driscoll when he shot this person in Blackwater."
Oh.
And it's like a very clear Red Dead 2 thing.
Nice.
I was like, that's kind of interesting. Like,
That's neat.
kind of a weird thing to kind of reference in a Walking Dead show. But I thought it was kind of cool. It's like, yeah, that's right. Let's get a Red Dead show going.
I would watch any sort of Red Dead content.
Yeah.
If they decided to do like a movie, maybe that's what they could do. They could do like a movie
better
for
than a
like
show.
the Blackwater thing.
Yeah.
The Blackwater job. I think that would be a fucking excellent movie. Even honestly, if they just took the
voice actors?
If they just took the same style that they did with all the cutscenes and they just animated the entire thing that way, I would watch it.
Yeah, it made it like longer.
I think it'd be fucking fantastic. It's an interesting method of animation, and I think seeing it extrapolated out to like a movie length would be very interesting.
I was just gonna say, I'm surprised no game has ever really done that, where like a Red Dead movie would be just a really long Red Dead cutscene with like better cinematography. Like not just jump cuts, but like more of a movie style.
Because obviously, like, I mean, in the game, you have to follow a perspective, essentially.
You have to stay with Arthur. Yeah. But what's funny is like the Corridor Crew YouTube channel, the guys who do VFX, one of them has started dabbling with Unreal Engine 5.
Yeah.
And they've actually been talking about how animated movies are becoming easier to make just with game engines than actual animation.
Damn,
so
I should look into that.
Honestly, like, that's a good point. That would be sick if they just did a Red Dead movie that was just the game, but in one big cutscene where it didn't stick to one perspective. That'd be fucking sick.
So, I don't know if you guys have heard of the game Guilty Gear, but they
Heard of it, yeah.
Yeah, they do something similar. So it's a fighting game, right? So it's not really story heavy, but what they do is they have a story mode, which is essentially just a 2.5-hour movie that they use the game's engine and like characters for.
That's sick.
They just put it in the game, and it just that's your story.
Yeah, that's sick. Yeah.
That's pretty good, actually.
Yeah, you don't have to play because like fighting game story modes usually have like the shittiest AI.
Yeah, although I'll be honest with you, how do you feel about like the Injustice ones? I always heard they were pretty good, and I thought they were okay. The final bosses, you're right though. It's always shitty AI and then the final boss.
Dude, NRS final bosses are so annoying. Like nowadays, it's not as bad, but like I still, like 15 years later, have like flashbacks to Mortal Kombat 3 Shao Kahn.
Yeah,
It's official. You suck, and I'm just like.
I know.
Those 5-second rounds, what kills you? We were just sitting there like, where's the opening? And he's just still sitting there.
There is no opening.
It's just like, fuck, dude. Stop
That's the trick, man.
Stop shoulder tackling me, you piece of shit.
Yeah, I've noticed with fighting games, exactly what you guys are saying. Like the AI that you play against, even if you just do like not like a story match, it's abysmal or impossible.
There's no in between.
It's like you can just crouch and like spam them, and they don't know what to do because they're not real.
Or you can't hit them.
Or you cannot hit them literally at all.
Yeah.
So like me, like I don't really I play fighting games semi-competitively, so like I'll get as far as like frame data and shit like that. So like I'll know my way around those games, but like some final bosses are just such shit, dude. It's just like not only do like they read your inputs, but like just like the frame data on their moves is stupid. Like they'll be like, oh yeah, like this move right here,
like it'll be frame perfect every time.
This move right here starts up in a frame, puts you in like 15 frames of block stun, and it does like 20% chip damage. Have fun with that.
Yeah.
And it's like, what the fuck do you want me to do? I think the most, like, I can show you guys this clip after, but I think the most bogus, like, fighting game boss I've seen was, like, God Rugal in, like, Capcom vs. SNK 2. Where like, he will literally break his pixels to crank out a special move.
Well, like, wasn't it MK9 that people were pissed about because the final boss had moves that weren't actually in the game? I think it was one of the Mortal Kombat games fairly recently. He did moves that you couldn't do in the game that he wasn't able to do. He just did them in the final fight.
Oh,
And there was
Injustice 2, Brainiac.
Injustice 2. That's what it was.
Yeah. So it wasn't an RS game. And just like Boss Brainiac was a very different character.
Yeah. It's like people were pissed about that, I remember.
Yeah. But honestly, his boss moves could not be balanced.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Like, he literally hit you with a full screen tracking unblockable that would do 90% damage if he hit it. Yeah, no, we're not putting that in the game.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, it's tracking, and it also, like, you have this much screen space, it accounts for this much screen space. So have fun getting out of the way of that. Yeah. But, it's just fucking stupid. Yeah, Capcom vs. SNK 2. Literally, you go to jump to punish a fireball, and it's like, yes, I finally got him, and he, like, breaks in pixels, so, like, he just, like, shatters, and, like, his torso covers his legs just so he can crank out a fucking
animation
reversal super.
The animation it can't be fast enough for him to do it. That's so cheap.
He collapses. He's in a black hole. He just inverts on himself.
That's so cheap.
Like, I just remember watching that shit, and I'm like, why? Like, fighting game fundamentals. You throw a fireball, I jump over it, I get to hit you. And Rugal just said, I disagree. I disagree.
I just don't think so. I don't see it.
You go to jump over the fireball, he pulls out a shotgun and shoots you out of there.
Just pull!
You jump over the fireball and your console turns off.
It's like, no,
and you turn it back on and the game disc won't read.
It's just, no, you're denied. You do not get the satisfaction of even touching me.
Oh, man.
And you go to take the disc out to try to, like, put it back in, and it ejects and cuts your neck.
It's like a fucking razor blade.
Yeah. And dude, like, you have bosses like that, and then people will play, like, a Dark Souls game, or, like, Elden Ring, and be like, Radahn's too hard. Have you guys played Elden Ring yet?
I haven't,
I haven't. I know Chris is interested. I'm not. I get too mad at games like that.
I'm interested in playing it, but I know the PC port got fixed, so, you know, it's more enticing now. But I'm still thinking I might wait for a sale.
Yeah,
I would, but honestly, it's worth full price. It is just such a good fucking game.
Did you beat it? I'm assuming you did, right?
I beat it a couple times. Yeah,
that's what I figured. Yeah, yeah, I did. I've heard really good things about it, and it's just not my kind of game. It's a game I'm interested in, like the style, but it's just like I don't have time to dedicate to get good at that kind of game, and it makes me too mad trying to do so. So I just don't.
Realistically, okay, I've talked about this before. Everyone complains. There's two sides. So, you know. The Dark Souls needs an easy mode. No, it doesn't. Just get good at the game. You can have both. Why don't they just have... Right? They have the normal version. And then you could just turn on, like... Or just, like... Turn on, like, enemy half damage or something.
Yeah, so just like, something to level
so it's
it
like,
for someone
it's
who doesn't...
a little bit easier and more accessible for people who want to play.
Yeah.
And there's no downside to this. Because it doesn't ruin the sanctity of the normal game. They can make the normal game exactly how they want to.
Yeah.
And then just scale it back for, like, an easier mode.
Right.
And more people will buy and play the game.
Meaning they can make more games, higher quality.
Make more, better games.
Yeah.
Right. But to play devil's advocate, they designed those games on purpose to be difficult. Because, like, the joy that comes from that game is toppling an obstacle.
I understand that. However, I'm not saying it has to be like baby mode.
Right, yeah.
I'm saying it has to be a little more accessible because, you know, not...
Kids can't play Dark Souls. Like, are you kidding me?
It's like, you know, maybe it's not accessible for someone who's younger or, like, you know, maybe they have, you know, some neuroatypicality.
Right.
Like they don't process inputs properly.
Right.
Or they have some sort of other disability or something like that, or they just don't have the fucking time to play through a game like that.
Yeah.
I just think it makes sense to do so.
Yeah.
Whether I would play on that mode or not is I'm not sure.
You probably try it on the regular original first, and then scale back if you have to.
Yeah. That being said, if you want my like any indication of like my skill level of video games, I played God of War on normal, and I thought it was like challenging enough to be fun.
Yeah.
So
I played it on hard,
and I imagine a lot of people are like, "Well, that one's baby mode."
Yeah.
Like,
I play every game on hard, typically.
Yeah. I 100%ed most recent God of War on Give Me God of War, which was...
Holy shit.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, so I had, like, fighting the final Valkyrie bitch.
That must have been insane.
On, like, the hardest, it was... Oh, my God. Like, I was so focused. It just, like, it just stuck to my chair. Like, I'm gonna beat this bitch. I'm gonna beat this bitch.
I got, like, halfway through one of the Valkyrie fights. And I was like, man... And I was just like sweating. It was a fucking gross experience. And then I got killed, and I was like, well, I'm not doing that again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, so I think it was like somewhere between 7 and 9 Valkyries, right? And they each had their own unique movesets. And then you fight the Valkyrie Queen after you kill all of them, and she has all of their moves and like as much health as like fucking all of them, basically. Damn. Stupid amounts of damage and just
fast. I think to your point, Chris, about like Dark Souls and like an easier difficulty or something, or scaled back difficulty. It's freezing again.
Yeah, fucking Audacity is breaking down.
Sifu was maybe that's why it was desynced, the last ones that I was talking about.
Because fucking Audacity is shitting itself.
I bet that's why. Anyway, Sifu is a perfect example of this, because Sifu is a really awesome game. I've talked about it on the podcast before, where it has this really fun combat, but I made it to level 2, and then the game kind of expects you to understand its specific mechanics and get good at them. I don't get time for that. I don't play a game to play for 20 hours just to learn how to play, then to progress. So they are actually updating it, I think, this week or next week with difficulty options.
There you go.
That's perfect for me, because I love the combat in the game. And, I understand the appeal of the game, to Jason's point, is like you get really good at the combat to the point where like you are doing these crazy fucking moves and dodge and weave and fucking tackle and throw this. You get new skills and you just perfect your mode. But like, to be honest, I just want to sit back and beat the shit out of people.
Yeah.
The animation, the combat, it's so fun. But I just found it, like, I'm on level 2 and I just stopped playing. I haven't played it since launch.
And there's nothing wrong with that. So. I feel like there's people who want to be all gatekeepy. Yeah, it's like, I'm good at the game, so everyone else has to be good at the game. Fuck you.
I don't have the time anymore to just spend 40 hours in a game where the first 20 is me perfecting my technique.
Those people that are saying that are like really gatekeepy. I'm not saying like everyone who's like against like a easy mode in games, right? People who are like seriously like gatekeepers. Look into their lives. They do not have jobs. They do not have any like meaningful purpose usually.
No.
Yeah. Like, I just think Sifu is one of those games where the developers released it, people loved it, but many people complained, like, this is too hard, I can't progress. And they were like, maybe our sales would be better if we just made this more widely available, you know?
Yeah.
Or accessible, rather. So, to me, like, as soon as that difficulty option comes out, I'm going to put it down a little bit, and I'm going to try to kick some ass, because that game's so fun, dude. You, like, pick up weapons, you fucking parry, you kick some dude down a staircase. It's so good. But then you die 50 times in the boss fight, and you have to redo the whole fucking level over, because you beat the boss at like age 72. So now the next time you die, you're done, and you have to redo the whole level. So it's just like, I just can't, I can't see the appeal of, like you said, gatekeeping. Like, I get it, I get where it would come from, but like,
So like me personally, like I'm not super gatekeepy, but like I also think like if you're gonna have an easy mode, it still needs to be. Like, for Dark Souls in particular, because they design those games with, like...
It's meticulous.
Yeah, they meticulously design it so you get the euphoric feeling of overcoming a boss that's been butt-fucking you for hours.
Yeah.
Basically. So, like, as long as you still keep that intact, I'm fine with the game being easier. I don't give a fuck.
Because the thing about the From Software games is, like, they're the best difficult designed games. Like... Yeah, there's not much BS, and again, I'm not a huge Dark Souls player, so correct me if I'm wrong.
Well, they're difficult because they're designed to be difficult, and then there's a lot of games that are difficult because they're poorly designed.
Exactly. Yes. So, like, correct me if I'm wrong, Jason, because I know you're way more into those games, but like, there's not bullshit in those games. Like, there is. I know the movesets and stuff are crazy, but like, it's not bullshit. There's ways around it. You don't ever get fucked over by like.
Well, there's that one fucking barrel, and I think there's a rock that falls on you on the stairs in Dark Souls 1.
Yeah, so they'll have like shit like.
Like traps.
Here's a chest right here, and you go to walk up and like, oh yeah, I wonder what item this is gonna be, and you get a fucking dragon or like a boulder that just drops on you from nowhere. And it's like, well, I'll just go fuck myself.
Yeah, I guess I'll just go kill myself.
Yeah, but no, like
in the combat though.
Combat wise, there's not as much jank, right?
Yeah.
Like there's some bosses that will like be swinging a massive sword at you, and you'll get hit with like a ghost hitbox. Yeah, just like what the fuck. But that doesn't happen as often as like
it's
people would
something
like to say.
that very much does reward you being good at the game
and putting in the effort.
Like if you put in the effort, you'll make it through the game. But that takes time.
Yeah,
takes a
time
lot of time.
I don't have.
And again, like I'm not asking for baby mode. I don't want it to be like, well, I'm just gonna one shot every boss. I just I would just like it that maybe the bosses don't one shot me every time.
Yes.
Maybe like 2-3 shot me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe
Like,
healing's a bit quicker.
Like at least give me room to fuck up.
Yeah.
And then continue on, because if I have to repeat this section of gameplay 14 times, I'm gonna uninstall the game.
Yeah.
So what I noticed about Elden Ring in like comparison to previous Souls games was that like the bosses do so much more damage to the point where like I usually don't level like the health stat in those particular games because like I'm comfortable in my fundamentals to be able to dodge. But in that game, like every boss and like even regular enemies do so much damage that you have to put,
or you just die.
Yeah, more
one fuck up and you're done.
Yeah.
So you have to diversify your skills.
Right.
Okay.
You just got to put more into vigor, which is the health stat typically.
Right.
But what they did in this game that I like is they eliminated most of the backtracking the bosses.
Oh yeah, because that's the thing. That's why I'm very interested in picking it up, because it is open world. So if you encounter a boss, I don't know are there any like forced boss battles where you have to stay with. So aside from those, if a boss is fucking you up, you can just go somewhere else.
Yeah, like, or even like in like a boss that you have to beat to get progression to the next area, you can be like, all right, fuck you. You can go do some open world shit, come back like a literal golden god and just like fucking smoke them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Easy. I mean,
that makes sense.
It's I think they eliminated that gameplay loop, and I would like to see, what was that game, Jordan, that you had bought or played or mentioned that it was similar in that it was like a boss rush type game.
Oh,
but
Returnal.
the levels were like procedurally generated.
Yeah, Returnal.
I'd like to see that. That would be very, very interesting.
Yeah.
In that same style, where it's like, I understand the world is like a big portion of the game.
Oh, for sure.
But like in a similar style, and it's the areas are procedurally generated to a degree where it's like all these little enemies that you're fighting, most of the time they ain't shit. And there's some that it's like they ain't shit or they will fuck your entire day up.
Yeah.
And then you get to the boss where it's they ain't shit or they'll fuck your entire day up.
Right.
It's like the first couple bosses, it's like this. Typically from the games I played, it's like this massive creature and it scares you because it's giant, but you just like you get behind it and you just stab it 14 times and it dies.
Yeah. Like the golden rule in Souls games is like if it's like a giant like beast boss or something like that, just stick to its ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just smack that ass.
Yeah, so like what is that fucking the first optional boss in Bloodborne?
The Cleric Beast?
The Cleric Beast. And that's like that boss ain't shit. I beat that one first try. And then you move on, you go play Father Gascoigne, and then you're like, oh, okay, I see what's happening here. I actually ended up beating him, and I played a little bit beyond, and I never continued after that because, like, Father Gascoigne is like the happiest I'd ever been.
Yeah.
Beating Father Gascoigne.
Yeah.
Hello, young man.
Yeah, no, that made sense.
Or dude, one thing that I hate that gaming journalists do all the time, where like they'll review a game, they'll be like, "This is the Dark Souls of racing games." I was like, dude, why is it the fucking staple of difficulty?
Bro, it's Forza. It's not that deep.
It's Forza, dude. Like, come on, son.
It's Dirt Rally 5. It's not that intense.
Yeah, it's fucking Trials, dude. Like
BeamNG Drive, they're like, yeah.
This is like the Dark Souls of Dark Souls.
Oh my god, dude! Like when they released like that Crash Bandicoot like fucking remastered
The Insane Trilogy.
Yeah. They're like, this is the Dark Souls of platformers.
And admittedly,
I'm like,
those games are difficult platformers. I will say that.
I think the first one in particular is like just such a far cry of difficulty from like the other two. It's just like, what the fuck?
Well, the other dimension is what messes with me.
Yeah.
Because you can, there's
2.5D.
depth
It's
to the
2.5D,
maps. That's the part that messes with me.
Yeah.
Like, I remember, like, not even, like, playing the remaster and, like, being a little kid. And I'm just still sitting there looking at, like, those 15 fucking polygons on my screen. I'm just like, all right, I think I got it. Fuck! And then just spiking the controller because I missed a jump.
But it does really go to show how much easier games have gotten over the years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it makes sense that they've gotten easier because that's exactly what I've been talking about. They're more accessible and they're easier.
And you look at something like fucking Ghosts and Goblins from like the arcade days. It's like you have like
that game's impossible.
You have like a list of people who have beaten that game.
Yeah, and it's on one sheet of 8.5 by 11 paper.
Yeah,
and
it's like that's it.
Size 40 font. It's one guy.
It's fucking.
The craziest thing about that game is the final boss isn't even that hard.
Everything else is.
Everything else fucks you, but like I guess the final boss is like piss easy.
Yeah, that's crazy to see. Like, going back, games get harder and harder. But you also get the one difficulty games, which they are either... I've only encountered a couple that were, like, challenging enough to be fun. Because I'm not super huge on platformers in general, but Mario Odyssey, I thought was, like... It was challenging enough that I thought it was fun, but it wasn't hard.
Yeah, like, I feel like Mario games in particular have like the perfect balance of difficulty, where it's just like you don't have to like play these games for years like a fucking hardened dwarf.
Yeah.
It's like you just play Mario, dude.
Like it's accessible enough for kids to play, but challenging enough for like an adult to play.
To still find some enjoyment and not just blitz through
like particularly in like finding like secret shit in that game is where like the challenge comes from, which is like. They do that to like target the demographic of like older gamers.
That's the thing. I got like 450 of the moons. Like I got a shitload of the moons, and a lot of those challenge levels, like for the moons, are pretty difficult. Like there was a couple that I had to do. A handful of times, 5, 6, 8 times. But
damn.
Yeah. That's That's our piece for this week.
Yeah, that's the end of the episode, I think, of this one. You got anything you want to add, Jason, before we transition to 93? Get naked.
Right. I was going to talk about my thoughts on chimps, but if we want to save that for the next episode.
Yeah, we can save it if you want. We'll kick it off with that. I wanted to talk about something I did as well, so we have some stuff for the next episode.
Okay.
All right. That's it, Chris.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right. So, as always, you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Breaker, Radio Public, Spotify, Pocket Cast, and, of course, the RSS feed linked below. You can also comment on YouTube. Reach out to us via email, synapsemisfire@pm.me. Comments, questions, concerns, and death threats. We also have Instagram and TikTok. We post highlights, and I do want to do some other shit on there as well at some point. And, yeah.
Remember, death threats go to me, and if I read them, I will find you. And I will kill you.
Yeah.
The goon will come.
When you're sending them, right when you think about sending them, he already knows your address.
Yeah, I already got it.
He's already outside your house watching you send the death threat.
I will overhead press you, and I will do unspeakable things to your anal region. You're done. You will be sodomized. Don't you fuck with the podcast.